Dr. R.J. Bruno wanted to talk a little bit about the hormones that change with aging. When people are adolescents, they have a high amount of hormones that help us to grow taller, to fill out our muscles, so that our body changes from the state it was in childhood to the state that we are when we're adults. Everything changes. Like I said, your bones get longer and stronger, your muscles change, even the appearance of our face changes as we grow the bones in the face. The hormones responsible for all this. Testosterone is important for both men and women, by the way. And also estrogen is important, again, for both men and women. For women, they also have progesterone that helps them develop. And then there's also growth hormone that helps both sexes. Growth hormone is responsible for developing our body height and muscle mass. And this is especially prominent during adolescence. It, by the way, is also very prominent in early childhood as we're developing fairly quickly. It kind of tapers off after a while and then goes crazy again during adolescence. Once a person is an adult, a lot of these hormones stabilize and get much less. And as we grow older, the hormone levels go down. So that when somebody is in middle ages and beyond, they have much less growth hormone, much less testosterone, much less estrogen than they had when they were younger. Now, if these levels are seriously low, where they might start causing problems with osteoporosis, or with difficulty with, let's just say, weakness, etc. Sometimes we can replace these hormones. Replacement of testosterone is well known. Replacement of estrogen also known. Replacement of growth hormone is controversial because growth hormone can also cause other problems. Usually after adulthood, if you have high levels of growth hormone, it actually can cause a condition called acromegaly, where the bones of the face, the hands and the feet start growing again. And this can cause a problem for the person because of difficulty with buying gloves and shoes, having the jaw problems when the jaw starts growing, and also because growth hormone also stimulates blood sugar. They can also develop diabetes. So the use of growth hormone replacement has not actually been done. For the woman, especially depending on how bad their hot flashes are, they are sometimes given estrogen and progesterone supplementation to try to help with that. For the man, like I said, testosterone can be replaced if it gets to the point where they're having problems with weakness and with impotence issues. This usually replacement of these hormones is done with consideration of the side effects. We know that high levels of testosterone can be a concern for heart disease. High levels of estrogen can be a concern for increased risk of breast cancer. These changes are not drastic changes. In other words, if you take a testosterone supplement, you don't suddenly get a heart attack. But it can increase your risk of these things. And as long as people are willing to accept that risk and take care of the problem, it can become an acceptable risk. Same thing goes for breast cancer. It's not like you take an estrogen supplement and all of a sudden you have a 50% increase in breast cancer. No, it's a small increase, maybe 1 or 2%, but because cancer is so scary, there's this concern whether any increase should be considered too much increase. So these are discussions you need to have with your urologist, gynecologist, your primary care doctor, about whether it's a good idea to change the levels of these hormones, especially if they're considerably low. Okay, so I think that kind of gives a little bit of information here. Hope it helps.